VivoTime.net is a website focused to help you make the most of your limited life, with ideas aligned with your goals. The way it works is that you first provide some information about yourself, as much as you want. Here, for example, I'm going to put the year of birth is 1980, and immediately it gives you an estimation of how much time you have left. Of course, this is just an estimation based on averages, but in this case it would be 1,583 weeks left. And then it gives you a breakdown of how much of that time is spent sleeping, working, eating, and going to the bathroom. The rest are the actual useful hours that you can do other stuff. Right below, you can set your objectives. For example, maybe you want to have more focus on your health, also wealth and knowledge, and you also want to leave legacy behind. Maybe you don't want to have as much indulgence. Based on these objectives and the information that you provided, the website gives you a set of ideas on how you can make the most out of this time. For example, here we've got a series of books, so The Wealth of Nations. Let's say I want to do this. The Lean Startup by Eric Rice. You'll see that every time that I do this, there's more time that gets allocated. Out of these useful hours, we're going to allocate the time necessary for these ideas. For example, here, maybe a masterclass on cooking, maybe here, start a family. You'll see that start a family only appears because you chose a lot of legacy. But it wouldn't appear as a suggestion if you don't want as much legacy, or even if you say that you already have children. It wouldn't make sense to be here. But let's come back to the initial example, and I'll put no children. And we're going to have this option again. The next thing you can do is to manage your objectives. To do so, you need to have an account. Let's register one. I'll just put my name here, email, password. I'll put a test credit card. Of course, there's more methods of payment that you can use, and let's register. Now that we're logged in as a registered user, we can have access to all of the features in VivoTime, like for example, managing our objectives. These are all the ones that we've seen from before and we allocated. We can also see other non-allocated objectives, like for example, this one, to ride a motorcycle. Or let's search another one. Let's say travel to Mesopotamia. That sounds good. Afterwards, we can start tracking these objectives. So let's say that I started reading The Lean Startup by Eric Rice. Also, I started to learn how to ride a motorcycle. Then, once you're done, you can just click Done, and you'll see them here. All of the objectives that you completed, you can just track them here. Afterwards, you can also see your stats. So if you go to My Account, Live Stats, you can see all of them stacked up. For example, here, because I chose that my year of birth is 1980, we're starting here at 45.7 years old. And we've got sleeping, eating, working, and then we've got our useful hours. And these are the ones that got allocated. These are the ones that are still remaining, and we can still allocate to make the most out of them. Below, we've got a few more details on all of these. Since we still have 26,000 hours free, let's go to the main page. We see that there are these objectives here. We can just hide them, and we can choose a few more. Maybe Jiro dreams of sushi. Let's say publish a research paper. We go back to manage our objectives. We start our publishing of a research paper. If you want to go through a summary of all of these features, you can go to About. All the things that we talked about are here. If you don't want the features that you place here, let's say that you put some health information, relationship information, sex information, occupation, you can go to My Account and say that you don't want the website to persist the features that you added there. If you have any questions, you can feel free and reach me out at contact@vivotime.net. Enjoy!